What if I told you that there is a way for you to turn your website into a conversion machine? And all you have to do is learn some of the secrets that will help you build a website that sells. And if you're thinking, Fab, these are secrets, how am I supposed to know them? In today's workshop, coming straight from summer school, we will show you exactly how to do that, thanks to the amazing Aggie, who's gonna come in and share all her knowledge and her expertise on how to build a website that sells. So if you are excited and intrigued and curious to know what you should do, then fret not, because today's workshop is all about that. And if you want to find out more about our summer school and how we can teach you how to make marketing more impactful, human, and fun for yourself and others, check the link in the show notes. But without further ado, may today's class begin.
Thank you so much, Fab, and welcome everybody again. I'm going to share my screen because, of course, I have a bit of a presentation which will hopefully help all of us get some information about building a website that sells. So I'm playing a video, I'm sharing the screen, and I'm sharing the tab with the presentation. So a lovely yellow presentation should be showing now. This session is called How to Create Website That Sells. If you guys have questions throughout, I should be able to see them on the chat, but I will leave 15 minutes towards the end of the session for Q&A. So you can just jot your questions and maybe wait until then, because I may answer them throughout my presentation. My name is Agi Dymarska. As I mentioned, you are welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I am a Google certified UX designer and a founder of Brandeby, which is essentially a marketing company. But I've been building websites for nearly 15 years now. And I also wrote a book, Website is Not Enough. So you are welcome to have a look at my website to find the ebook. Now, of course, we want to learn about building websites that sell, but in detail, we will discover the key elements of like an impactful website. We will learn how to plan and execute development like a pro. And of course, I will help you avoid common mistakes. Now, the session is fully packed, so if I am going too fast, you can always go back to it and rewatch it. It is designed to bring you as much value as possible. So we already had a poll. We established that most of people here are running service-based business, maybe a bit of both, and some of you are running a product-based business. Now, the session is created so we can cater to both different types of businesses, but of course, building an e-commerce store is a specific thing to be doing. So you may want to carry on learning about that type of website. So let's get started. How to plan your website development. This is my little kind of checklist, if you like. I like to divide building a website to 3 milestones. The first is preparation, second is design, and then we have the development. So let's have a look at the time I spent doing each thing. Now, this comes as a surprise to many people. Most of my time is spent in preparation mode. Only about 15 to 20% of my time I spend designing the thing. And then, of course, building the website, it takes a little bit of time because the setup may be more or less complex depending on the platform. So actually, 60%, most of the time is spent content collation, domain and email setup, planning the project, setting up some goals for the website. It's not the design. Design is always a secondary thing to actually providing value to your users. So with this in mind, you should really stop thinking people will visit your website and you start asking why they would. And then you plan accordingly. So why would people, visit a website? They are users of the website, so they have to have some goals they want to achieve, right? You need to know the goals of the users to identify your business goals and website goals. You then have to list your features to know which platform to choose to build your website with. And of course, you have to have some content that will support the business goals and the user goals. Of course, there is a little bit of a setup necessary, getting your domain, your email, and the platform, but I will help you choose the right platform in just a moment. So let's start with goals. What are some common user goals for websites? Well, on the left, we have a service-based business user goals, and on the right, we have e-commerce user goals. Now, I don't think this will be too surprising to anyone. Some people who visit service-based business website want to see your past work. They want to check the services you offer and maybe read some reviews, okay? Most often, they also want to book a call or get in touch with you. And sometimes they like to check the price. When it comes to the price on the service-based business website, there is some benefit to showing the price because maybe if you are after high ticket clients, you know, paying a lot of money, you want to make sure that you don't waste time on people who have lower budgets. So you may want to indicate the price, but I wouldn't give a price, promise a price, because people will ask for it. So what I tend to do is I tend to explain to people that in order to confirm the price of their website, we have to schedule a call and have a strategy session that will cost, let's say, £200. Then they know that if just the call costs £200, surely the website will be costing quite a bit, okay? So this is a bit of a benefit to showing your price on the website, but you don't have to. But you certainly have to make sure that people can get in touch with you. For the e-commerce, of course, people may want to check a specific product. They may even check the reviews and browse the range of products even. Often, they just want to complete a return, okay? And I think a lot of e-commerce businesses forget that the website is there to serve the user. And the main user is your customer. And you may not like the returns, but they certainly want to have the option to return. We've all been there. You buy something, it's not quite the way you like it, you want to return it. It needs to be easy to do it on an e-commerce website. Now, I'm just going to quickly swap just to make sure that everybody is hearing me. Fab, thank you so much for sharing the link. I think we are good. So from the user goals, so people who will be using your website, you have to also have some business goals, because you must identify how the website helps your business make money, okay? It should be a money-making tool. It shouldn't be additional thing you have to manage. And there are only two ways the website can impact your revenue, so your money coming into the business, and that is indirectly through enhanced credibility, for example, or attracting higher caliber clients, and directly through number of sales, specifically through the website, number of emails you've captured, of people you can reach out to with the offer again, in case they forgot to buy something, or in case that they are actually interested in your services but weren't ready to buy yet. And the other metric would be numbers of calls booked. When I was starting, nobody would be booking calls with me. Now I have every day a request, maybe every other day a request to speak with someone who needs help with their website. So what goals should you set up for your website to have an impact? Well, common business goals are, as I mentioned, capturing emails of people or details so you can reach out to them, growing subscription list, growing follower list. You may want to generate leads in terms of booked calls for a service-based business and sold products, physical and digital. Or you may have a business goal set around gathering feedback. That could be a business goal. You want your website to tell you more about what your audience is looking for. That's also a very good business goal, because with that information, you can create an offer that fits the needs of your audience. So how does this relate to website goals? Okay, we have user goals, what people want to do on your website and why they would visit. We have business goals, what in particular you want out of this website for your business. And now the website goals. So if you have a look at this, your business goal of capturing details means that you need to probably promote a newsletter or some sort of resource that people want to download, right? They're not going to just give you the email. You need to have something to offer in return for the email. Similar thing goes for the booking calls. It's not enough to just tell people, oh, you can book a call with me. It is much better to give them a reason for having that call. So for example, on my intro call, I will answer all your questions and I will be able to provide you with a quote for building your website. So that's a great benefit, to get a quote and be able to understand what are the costs involved in building a website for your company. Selling products. You probably want to advertise some sort of offer or discount. Many people or many companies sell products. They usually have some offer they can talk about on social media or other channels to bring people into the into the website. And then, of course, gathering feedback, that means you would have to probably create a survey or some sort of form that people can complete to let you know what they thought of the website or of your business or your offer. Now, it's not enough to have goals. You have to really measure if you met them. So how do you measure success? Well, if you're capturing emails, you want to know how many emails you captured within 1 month, let's say. If you are, after booking the calls, you need to look at the calls you've booked this month or tickets you sold in a particular month to identify if you did better than the previous month, advertising on social media the way you did. Selling products, of course, you're looking at the sales, but you're also looking at page impressions. Page impressions is basically a number of people who visited that particular page. It's very, very useful for a product-based website because it essentially tells you how many people were at least interested in maybe buying that product. And when it comes to feedback about your website or about your products, usually people are allowed to give a score. It's very good to do that. On my website, I've got a little bit of a feedback form, and I know that a lot of people who come to my website have got a goal of learning about my services, and nearly all of them complete that goal. So I already know that my goals were set up properly and that the design is supporting achieving those goals. So now let's remind ourselves the next step of the preparation. We've set our goals for the users, for the business, and for the website. And now we have to decide what features will actually be necessary to have on the website to achieve those goals. After the features, we also have to think about the navigation, which is crucial to any website, the text and the images. I've got quite a bit of tips here, but as I mentioned now, the goals of your website will dictate the features and the content. If you are creating, if you are after feedback from people, you have to have a feature of a survey. So if you are selling products, you have to have an online store. This is common sense, but it is important to divide your features into must-have and nice-have features. Not all the must-have features will be available for free on various platforms, and not all the nice-have features. So it's nice to have a list so you can identify how much it will cost to have those features on specific platforms. What are the two types of website features? As I mentioned, must-have features. Here for the service-based business, these are responsive design. And nowadays, all the websites have to work on mobile phones, so they have to be responsive. Clear call to action. This is not a difficult thing to come up with, but a lot of people create more than one. My call to action is to book a call. That's what I really want the user of my website to do when they come to the website. Don't come up with many calls to action, just have one. Great images and text, even for e-commerce store. There's no excuse nowadays. You have mobile phones which are high quality images. You can really get some images that are good quality. You shouldn't be using pixelated images. And writing the text has also become easier with the rise of AI, which we will talk about in a minute. Inquiry form is always good to have one. Analytics tool, so you know how much traffic or how many people are coming to your website. These are the must-have features. The nice-have features which you think that maybe are included, for example, social media feed. This is a nice-have feature because it will cost you more. You will need to pay a company to include that. Some platforms include it, like Wix, but these free of charge feeds are not the best way forward. They tend to break. So you need to think about this feature as a nice have that you will have to pay extra for. Giving people ability to download resources in exchange of an email is also seen as a nice have in my books. And for the e-commerce, integrations are also nice haves. For the e-commerce, of course, responsive design is a must-have. High quality product images, videos, great descriptions, and not descriptions, and clear product categories to help people understand what you're offering. Nice haves, multi-currency. I really highly advise against it. Start with one currency in your local market, and then you can add multi-currency. This is really a pro feature, and it's difficult to set up and even more difficult to manage. Don't go into global selling of things. Multi-currency is a nice have feature which will take time and effort and money to deploy. Product wish list, reviews and ratings, you'd think that's included. On many platforms, that's an extra that you have to pay for. And ability to use discount codes. This is really extremely helpful when you're marketing, to be able to give people discount codes or create promotions. This is very powerful. So it's a nice have that will help. It won't break it if you don't have it on your website, but it really helps. And abandonment cart recovery, you'd be surprised how well this works. Let's imagine somebody puts something in a basket, the phone call comes in, they go to answer the call and they forget about what they were buying altogether. In the next couple of hours with abandonment cart recovery, they will receive an email bringing them back to complete that purchase. This list goes on, and I mean it. This is a list I created in 2022. I have a new version listing all the features you could have and breaking it down into platform and telling you how much it would cost. So if you want the feature comparison table, you can go to brandedbee.com, reach out to me, I'll send it to you, or reach out to me and I'll send you the link to download it. Very, very, very helpful. You can also submit a brief for a website, and I will give you a quote of how much this website would cost you to build roughly with me and with other providers. So when it comes to navigation and content, this is one of the steps that people like to skip, but I do not advise to do it. And my best tip for you is to find a website that you like the look of, that you would like to be similar to, okay? And a good place to look for these websites are Dribbble and Awards websites. These are basically catalogs of websites that either already exist with awards or that are designed well by professionals. And benchmark website is something that you can realistically build yourself. So if you are selling products, you're not going to benchmark Amazon because quite frankly, you won't be able to build something like that. You want to find a website that you love using yourself, that is similar vibe to what you're trying to do, and that you can be inspired by. The next step in content collation and creating navigation is creating a sitemap. This is basically a list of pages that you'll be creating for your website. And I really, really highly recommend Thimbly.io. This is what I created for my client. It's a super fun way of creating sitemaps that will help you build the website that actually works for people and makes logical sense, okay? You can see that I've listed all the different pages. I know what they will be. This will be my blog page. This will be, just a general page. Some will have forms and some will be posts. So it really helps. And this Thimbly allows this map to be interactive. So you can share it with your colleagues. You can share it with other people. They can add comments and interact with the map. Next, writing approximately 250 words for your SEO. That's the number you want to hit per page. And I do use ChatGPT. Look at this. On the left, I have the prompt. Write 250 words of text, including clearly defined headers and sections that will encourage users to book a call to discuss, in my case, website design for my website that offers web design services. You can swap the yellow for whatever you do, and it will return something really, really decent. Look on the right. Welcome to our web design services. It really describes it quite well. I was very, very impressed with ChatGPT, and I do use it a lot. It's a great base, and it will take minutes to create that text of 250 words, getting you into a good place to actually build your website. Finally, you have the images. Pixabay and Pexels are free libraries with high quality pictures that you don't have to pay for. They are royalty free. If you don't like any of them, or if you think that they're too common, because obviously free resources will be used by many people, you can go to something called Envato Elements. And a little bonus tip is to sign up for a monthly subscription and cancel it before it renews. This way, for only £40, you get unlimited amount of high quality images for your website. So the website is called Envato Elements. You sign up for a month, and it's a bit cheeky to do, but you will basically unsubscribe before the monthly subscription renews. So we now have preparation pretty much complete. We've got the goals for the website, we've got the features, and we've got the navigation, text, and images. One thing is remaining, and a lot of the time people like to start with this. You could, but it is all about the domain, the email, and the platform you will use to build your website that sells. And with the domain, I always advise to people, don't overthink it. Usually .com and .co.uk are fine. Nowadays, people use other TLDs like .net. .com and .co.uk right now are preferred by search engines. So you may want to just stick with that. And when you're picking the name of your domain, so your address for your website, you want to create something that is descriptive. My website is called Branderby. I've set it up a long time ago before I knew this. Right now, I would probably call it something like Old Marketing School, right? This is a brilliant domain because it tells people roughly what they're going to see on that website. So just try to create something simple. Don't overpay for your domain. I like to keep it to £40 a year maximum. And also consider buying via platform that you'll be using to build that website, whether it's Wix, Squarespace, or any other platform. You may just buy it there rather than with an outside company like One&One. Avoid GoDaddy. The domain will be cheap, but then they will be charging you for extras that you don't even know about. So I rarely speak against a company, but GoDaddy are really not great. And then you can set up your email. Once you have your domain, I recommend Google Business or Google My Business. Why? Well, basically, it's cost effective. If you have a look at this, at £5 per month per email, you also get access to all these wonderful apps. Okay, you can use your Gmail, you can use Drive, and it's very easy to use. Most of us have a Gmail account. We know how it works, and it'll be the same, but using your domain. So it's very easy to set up, and you can have your domain with any other company, but have your email with Google Workspace. It really is fantastic. Now, once you have your domain, you've connected your email or created your email, you may want to pick a platform to build your website with. I created a simple table of standard and e-commerce website platforms that I recommend. Now, WooCommerce can be difficult for people who are not technically advanced. So you may want to stay away from it. Shopify is the best WooCommerce experience, the best e-commerce experience, I feel. Wix Studio, that's a new offer from Wix, is also quite powerful. Shopify is expensive. Wix could do if you have up to 50 products. With a standard website, I use WordPress with Elementor because it's the most flexible, beautiful system that you can set up yourself to use. Wix Studio could always do, but Webflow is not advised because it will cost you quite a lot. Building with it doesn't cost you, but hosting, you have to get it with them. And they are basically in charge of the price of their hosting, and it will be quite a lot. And if you want to host elsewhere, some of the features of your Webflow website won't work. I looked into it. It's a beautiful tool, but I would reserve it for professionals and companies who have a big budget for the website. Now, we are nearly halfway through, and I know that I'm speeding ahead, but hopefully you can see how the preparation stage is actually, in fact, important. Also, understanding the back end of these platforms is crucial because they differ. On the left, we have WordPress. It tends to be a little complex. Wix Studio is a bit easier and includes marketing tools that will help your business. And Shopify, as you can see, is very intuitive. It's beautifully designed. So if you're not comfortable managing online store, Shopify is your friend. They will help you. Wix Studio also helps you with different tips and is attempting to teach the user how to manage the store. WordPress has no such help. You will be left on your own, and you will have to rely on YouTube videos to learn how to administer a WordPress shop. So for e-commerce, I really don't recommend WordPress, but for a simple blog or a brochure website, it definitely is the way forward. Preparation is done. We've got the goals of the website, features of the website, content, and we've set up. So what should happen next? Well, of course, it's the design, and I do like to divide it also. First is wireframes, and second is mockups. My best tip to everybody: draw it first. On the left, you've got my drawings for the website, which I then created on the right, okay? You really want to draw it down because this way you avoid any sort of unnecessary elements. You're only going to draw what is absolutely necessary to appear on these pages. And it is much, much faster than using any software to do these drawings. So these are called wireframes on the left, just showing that we're going to have some images here and there. We're going to have a bit of text on the right, bit of image on the left, just letting you understand what you actually want to put on these pages is really, really helpful. Once you have that, you can use a system like Figma or Photoshop or any other system, even Canva, to put a layer of design on top of this, okay? But you may not need to. You may need to use a theme or a template. So let's have a look at that. Different platforms will have different themes and templates. On the left, you've got the choice from Wix, and on the right, you've got WordPress template from Envato. There is hundreds of thousands of different templates for WordPress, not that many for Wix, but the benefit of using a theme or a template is that there is a huge choice, and that once you launch it, all you have to do is swap the images and text for your own. You could also use a drag and drop tool. Elementor on WordPress is what I use, and this gives you full flexibility. You start with a blank page, and then using those widgets that you can see here, quite similar to Wix, you can drag and drop them. So let's say I would like to have a video here. I will find a video widget, I'll drop it here, and I will upload my video to that, and it will show. There is an element of learning necessary for Elementor, but there is a ton of resources that you can watch to create Elementor website. If you're not so keen on learning, Wix Studio may be a better option because they also offer ongoing support. So you can get in touch with the support team and they will help you resolve any issues that you may have. And now, this is where these drawings that you may have or may have not created will become useful. Because if you have a drawing, you're just trying to drag the right widgets. But without a drawing, you may run into a problem of spending a lot of time tweaking things, changing things, and never finishing your website. I have clients who have had 20 different versions of their website and none of them was launched. And they came to me to actually design the website because they just couldn't complete it. So create the drawing and only then try to use drag and drop builder to create your website. This way, you will save time and you will create something that is in sync with the business goals and the user goals that you set up for your website. If you want, you can also get somebody else to do it for you. I'm happy to give you a quote, but you could also use Upwork. It's a really good freelancing platform, and it may be cheaper for you to pay somebody than to waste all the time, which is, a valuable resource for you, doing something you may not be expert at. If you want a custom feature or a custom look, getting a developer or designer is the way forward. And once you build your website, I need you to avoid one common mistake. Thinking you can come up at the top of Google search. You cannot. Maybe back in the day, it was possible for small companies like ours. Right now, there's only two ways you could come up at the top of Google search. One is pay-per-click campaign, which is expensive, and two is organic marketing, which will take time. Between those two, I tried both. Pay-per-click campaign did not work for me because I ran out of money before I saw any results. This is very likely to be the case for many of us. That's why I turned into organic marketing. So I really recommend educating yourself and starting the organic marketing game as soon as you can, even before you build the website, because you will get ahead of competitors and you will learn how to do the marketing when your website is actually live. And organic marketing really is being proactive on social media, outreaching to your audience, letting them know that you are offering certain service or product, and providing valuable content. I encourage you to learn more about organic marketing. There is a ton of resources on my LinkedIn and daily posts about it. And of course, Alt Marketing School will be helpful in that as well. Or you can go back to this presentation and recap how to build website that sells. Well, the conclusions are here. First of all, you need to establish why would people visit your website, okay? Why would they go there? What is the benefits for them? and don't think that they want to know about you. Most likely they don't. Most likely they want to see what's in it for them. Second of all, list your goals, website features, and find a platform that matches your budget. Different features will cost different amounts on different platforms, so it's nice to have a list you can go by and then compare the cost. Third conclusion is you should spend most of your time planning and preparing, not playing with designs or templates. You can always change the look of your website, but what you really cannot change is how you speak to people, what you offer, and if it's fit for the purpose, if it's fit for the demand. So spend most of your time planning, and your life of deploying a website that sells will be easier, and the resulting website will be much, much better. And of course, consider investing in your personal brand and organic marketing methods. Since I've been prominent on LinkedIn, promoting myself, promoting my personal brand, my marketing and web design business has also flourished. People know who I am, they trust to do business with me, and they want to work with me and my company. It really, really helps. And finally, I encourage all of you to remember, website is not enough. Once you launch a website, you have to start marketing and inviting people to visit the website. You can get the ebook via www.brandeby.com. And I promise you, this ebook will really help. It includes lots of resources. So beyond the old marketing school, there is my ebook that you can use. And I welcome you to ask me any questions about the ebook or about building a website that sells. I'm going to turn back into the chat just to see if we have any questions coming through.
Hello.
There she is. She's back.
Hello.
Opening for the questions, so you can take over if you like. If you have maybe any questions for me, Fab.
There are a couple of questions that I grabbed as well. See if anybody else wants to pop more through. I will make sure that I read them through. So the ones that we've got one, which is, do you have some insights about Squarespace that you can share? This was in the chat. We just moved it into the Q&A.
Sure, guys. You know, Squarespace is a very popular solution. I think they keep improving the platform. It is quite limiting. It is designed, I think, for very simple websites. So in a way, it helps because you won't be distracted with all these features. But if you have in mind a more sophisticated website, I would probably look into using Wix over Squarespace. They are quite similar, but I think Wix has done a better job growing the platform, and it will give you more options. Squarespace is fine as a starter, let's call it, platform.
Love that. Okay. I am going to go with another one. I'm going to go one from Mariana before I go with one that I came up with as we were talking, which is here. Thank you, Mariana, for your question. And do you have any insights on B2C pre-order websites?
Okay, so anything pre-order or wish list, I love, because what it does really is, let's say we already have a store and we're thinking that maybe some product would be very, very desirable. Before I produce this product and actually spend money on, you know, developing the product, what I would do, I would actually create a mock-up of it and let people add themselves to a wish list. Through that, you know that 100 people signed up, so they are, first of all, interested. Enough people is interested in the product, and second of all, when you decide that you actually want to develop this product, you can actually email them straight away saying, well, I know that you were interested, so you're already getting some traction. I love any sort of pre-order wish list capability on the website. Mariana, it's the way forward.
I'm just going to keep showing them as well. So the biggest reason I get stuck is I'm a perfectionist, not a good thing. Kathleen, I feel you. Could you give us an idea of what minimum viable product looks like for a website? Love this question.
Great question, because a lot of us get stuck, even myself, you know, I start enjoying myself a little bit too much, adding things, removing things, and then I wake up at midnight and it's time to sleep. Nothing gets done. The simple answer is, without that must-have list, you should go nowhere. If you have a must-have list and you've built a website that has got all the must-haves, you are done. You can deploy it. It's the minimum thing that you need to get people interested. And it's less than you may think. It may be as simple as my website has got navigation, good pictures, some text, and ability to book a call. 4 things. And you launch that website. Nobody is going to tell you off for an ugly website. You can always improve it. And if they say the website is ugly and they don't like it, that's even better. It's better than not being talked about at all. So I would say, whatever you created, launch it. Just launch it as soon as you can, and you can always improve on it, and you can always get better at it.
I love that. I'm going to give one little insight on our side before I get to Tina's question as well, which was that we just redid the branding of our website, which got lots of love. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's amazing. And I mean, I'm biased, but I think it's pretty cool to the team. If you want to look it up afterwards, like obviously you can, if you haven't already. But what I want to say to Kathleen, because I'm exactly like you, for context, the first year it was terrible. I will say it was terrible. And then it got better. But I was still like, it doesn't feel right. It wasn't perfect, but it allowed people to, as you say, get in touch with us, browse what the school was about, get a feeling for who we are, and start joining our courses. It took us, honestly, 4 years to get the right branding, to get some photography done, to get the right vibe, everything to flow. 4 years. And if I hadn't started with something, I wouldn't have been able to get enough information about what I wanted our website to feel like. So behind a lot of small budget or like DIY or very simple websites that look really good, there can be years of trial and error, good enough that at least drives results. So I just wanted to say that, because we see some of the pretty stuff and there's a lot of the time a long story behind those. So that's what I wanted to say. With that, would you recommend changing design a bit when you develop the site on the platform because you discover new interesting features that are included in the theme or the template? What are we doing with that?
Well, this is a little bit in connection with the previous question. There is temptation, and that's why I'm saying, if you are not so confident about technology, maybe start with Squarespace or Wix, because they will have less features and you won't run into this problem. What I would say is, what you want to do is you want to understand why you would change a design. And this shouldn't come from you. It should come from at least 10 people who don't know you. So if 10 people who don't know you say, we really need multi-currency, you don't launch multi-currency, because it's just your bias. You think you need it, but you're not building business for yourself. So I would really try not to add features unless they are appearing on your must-have list or nice-have list, and you already planned to have them eventually, because you may not be able to get all your nice-haves on the first iteration of your website, but with that list, and I honestly keep going on about the must-have and nice-have list of features, create it, and you won't have that problem, because you will look, oh, there is a new feature on this platform. Is it on my must-have list? No. Is it on my nice-have list? Yes. Then add it. If it's not, don't add it. Try to avoid the temptation.
That is actually great. I just wanted to bring up, I love that kind of reframing as well, because I think it's actually kind of coming up a lot. And I love what Kellyn as well said here, like on a follow-up to what she asked, which was, it's kind of like working in public. And I think a lot of the time is like finding also a platform, like you said, LinkedIn, where you can share some of the reasons why you did things or some of the changes that you've made on your website, right? And then it can also be a way to get feedback. You talked about it as well, obviously getting feedback for other reasons, but this can be also a way to get feedback on your website and help people saying what they love, what is not clear, and kind of makes them feel part of building that experience, right?
100%. You basically getting your audience involved in the shaping of your website, so they start caring as well, because they ask for something and maybe you took notice and made that change. And that is a nice piece of content as well, because what will you be talking about all the time? Maybe you'll be talking about the feature which didn't work on your website and you fixed it because your customers wanted it fixed. And that really presents you in a great light and gives you a bit of content. And I have a feeling Caitlin is going to go a far, far way, because the questions are spot on.
Team, thank you. And Aggie, thank you again. So if people want to grab your ebook, once again, they can go to your website, to which you can find in the links in the chat. You can find links in the replay if you're watching the replay. You showed it also. I'm going to put it back again. You showed it also in the slides. So go and check that out. But before we leave, I would love to do a bit of a shower of love, at least for people who are watching the live. There we go. Some hearts, please.
Well done, guys.
Thank
You're getting ahead of competition because you're educating yourself, and that's the best way forward, honestly. Super job to everyone.
Hello there, it's Fab here, and I just wanted to say hi. By the power of time traveling, which I totally have, I want to say I hope you enjoyed this session. This is one of our workshops from summer school. And if you missed out on one of your tickets, then what are you waiting for? Just go and check out in the description if you can still access all of our summer school sessions, old and new. Yes, there are still some tickets left for summer school right now at time of recording. By the time you're watching this, you better check. And why would you? Well, because it's 9 weeks of free amazing events. And for the whole duration of summer school, you get access to all of the replays for free. After that, we're going to move all of our lovely replays to our all access pass and student community, which you can also check in the link in the description. So what are you waiting for? Go and check out all of our other sessions from summer schools and our amazing speakers. In the meantime, don't forget to be kind to yourself and others, and practice makes progress. Until next time, class is dismissed.